Hey kids, it's time to mark your calendars. Why? Because today is Friday the 13th, and you all know what that means. It means it's time to go over one of the most gruesome, gory, crazy, intense, off-the-hairy-balls horror franchise with everybody's favorite hockey-wearing, machete-wielding, head-decapitating, limb-removing professional hockey champion Jason Voorhees.
Just shut up about Jason, will you?
Yeah, fuck you, Jason.
Jason Voorhees? You're out of your fucking mind. You've been out in the sun too long.
Dude, that goalie was pissed about something.
This icon's been featured in comics, video games, many merchandise, and a TV show that had nothing to do with the movie, so I don't know why I'm mentioning it. Get the fuck out. Oh man, what a crazy history this motherfucker has had. He pretty much dominated the 80s with every movie except for 83 and 87. These movies are just about enough to satisfy you, even though they're cheap campy films with stupid characters doing stupid shit. But seeing them get killed in many different ways, people throw hats in the air. So who cares, these movies are fucking awesome despite a few ridiculous scenes.
Fucked up again, it ain't starting. I'm gonna kick your ass,
So come along for one whole day on Friday the 13th, 2018. One whole day I'm going over all 12 movies. Holy shit, one day? I don't even know if I could last that long or if Jason will come by my house tonight, but I'm in high praise that he won't. Oh shit, I'm screwed. Well, I'm doing this anyway. This is the one day Friday the 13th marathon. Well, first, we'll start off with the first, wink wink, a movie made in 1980 and try to cap off from the success of Halloween. It failed at first, but throughout the years people have grown more to appreciate it, and it has a big fan base like all of them turn out to have. And a lot of people know that in this movie, Jason is not the killer, right? Right? Right?
Listen, it was Jason. I saw that movie 20 goddamn times!
Then you should know Jason's mother, Mrs. Voorhees, was the original killer. Jason didn't show up until the sequel. I'm afraid that was a wrong answer.
One by one, teens from Camp Crystal Lake get killed off, and we never see who's doing them until the end, of course. And right off the bat, two people go upstairs to have sex, a great trademark in these movies, and they're murdered. Standing ovation. They also play a song together to make the movie feel very nice and happy. Yeah, nope, that failed. Then 21 years later passed and Camp Crystal Lake had reopened after the horrific incident that happened with Jason drowning and the counselors being dumb fucks about it. Oh yeah, also gotta mention, Kevin Bacon's in this shit, and he's pretty good. I'm not lying. I'm not. I'm not.
You a fucking lion.
His death is the best death in the movie because it's the most gory, and that's a thing that makes slasher movies so good if the effects are done right. Of course the MPAA had to remove all those things, and I'll be mentioning them some more. A great scene before Bacon's death is after he gets laid and the camera pans up to a dead body up the bunker, and they don't even notice it. That's awesome and a scary feeling. We don't even see how it happens, mostly a lot of the deaths because of the MPAA. See? I mentioned them again. The funniest death is this guy who has an awesome mustache. The scariest and quite possibly the best death in the movie comes when one of the characters, Brenda, is reading a book in bed and she hears a little child screaming for help, which scared me as a little kid. Just imagine hearing an unknown child whom we never see just screaming for help. And I'm pretty sure it led us to believe at first that a child is doing all the killings, so not knowing where that voice came from is still a disturbing mystery and yet the best part of the film in my eyes. Another funny context is that Mrs. Voorhees, the killer in the movie, because the camp counselors weren't watching her son while he drowned towards the end, resorts to slapping and struggling so hard to kill the last known survivor, Alice. I mean, look at all the horrible things she's done. She even managed to throw a body through a window. She threw a human being through a damn window, and now she's just slapping and screaming awkwardly. Betsy Palmer does a great job though. She's crazy and very creepy, and that's what they wanted out of her. Palmer didn't even want to do this movie. She visited the set and she wasn't interested. She tried to leave, but her car broke down, so she had no choice. We got an iconic killer, because of a broken down car. Props to Palmer as Mrs. Voorhees. She gets her head chopped off. One and done. When this movie first came out, it was shitted on and wiped with a dirty rag. Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel roasted the movie for an entire episode of their show, saying that the director Sean Cunningham was one of the most despicable creatures ever to invest the movie business. Many one-star reviews for this movie at the time, mostly because of the poor character development and the fact that it's a movie where you root for the killer. Well, I'm pretty sure that's the appeal to these movies now. The ending scare is probably the best part in the Friday the 13th movie series. Not my favorite part. We'll get to that another time. After the atrocious battle between Alice and Mrs. Voorhees, everything seems fine, and then Jason comes out of the water and takes Alice underneath, which is a great pop-up scare. But then she wakes up from a coma and it was a dream. I didn't like that they ended it that way. I think it would have been a more scary and unnerving ending if it just cut after Jason took her down to the lake, and that would leave us feeling very disturbed. But they fucked that up, and the rest is history, and first of many Friday the 13th movies, not counting the TV show. So yeah, Friday the 13th, officially supposed to be titled A Long Night at Camp Blood, and the logo with the glass breaking was created before the script was even made. So more fun facts to satisfy your brain. So this movie is in the record books. Stay tuned for part 2, cause it's coming out on the same day, so, see ya.
You're beautiful when you're angry, sweetheart.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you come up here to help me or to scare me to death? God, if you do that again, I'm gonna tack you up in the wall to dry.
God, but I love that